didn't really play. Hi, how are you doing there, YouTube world? I had a little promo to play, but we'll work out the kinks later. My name's Sean. I'm a returning citizen. I'm here at Wings for Life International. Their offices in Albuquerque. We're bringing you this live podcast on Facebook and YouTube, on 2 channels of YouTube. But go to the Wings for Life channel on YouTube. Please subscribe. Today, I got a few different guests to introduce. But first, our founder, our CEO of Wings for Life, has a few announcements to let you guys know what happened this week. This is
well, I'll just update you about a couple exciting things that are going on because this has been quite the week at Wings. We have actually been to our state capitol in Santa Fe, and we are requesting capital outlay funding from our state legislators. So we will see what happens. I also found out about a term called junior funds. So now we are asking for junior funds. These are funds for programming with our goal of starting 8 programs around the state of New Mexico and finding enough funding to hire some staff to run those. So there are a lot of things that are going on. It's an exciting time. We will not have our Monday night Wings for Life meeting because it's a 5th Monday. And when we were meeting in person, we never had a place to meet on a 5th Monday, only the first 4 weeks of the month. And so we've kind of had that tradition. So we are taking the 5th Monday off, giving us a chance to regroup and get ready to go for the next month. But we look forward to seeing you on our Monday nights. Of course, we have our LifeWise family workshops 3 times a week. And you could go to our website and get all that information and all those dates. So we have a lot of exciting things going on. We've just started a new, so if you're out there and you want to help us, $10 for 12 months. We're calling it our 10 by 12. And if we could find 2,500 donors, that's going to be our goal, just at $120 a year or $10 a month. That's a couple cup of coffees that maybe you wouldn't have to help us, because our goal is to have a building where we can house our Wings works, a building where we can have a real studio, a building where we can have meetings and really reach out and help not only those returning citizens, but their families and anybody else who needs help. You don't have to have somebody in prison to come to Wings. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So be part of our 10 by 12. Help us this next year. And just thank you for joining us today with this wonderful podcast. And Sean, I'm so excited. Our 2nd week, we are doing it. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And we've got some wonderful guests today, dear friends, and they run a wonderful program. And we are just so pleased that they are here today. And of course, Sean and the team will answer all your questions. So thanks, everybody.
Dress Schultz is in the house. Before Ann leaves, she wrote a book. It's called Family Arrested: How to Survive the Incarceration of a Loved One, because her husband went to federal prison, 8 years ago?
No, more like 35
years ago. Left the family high and dry. When you go to prison, your family goes to prison as well. It's all in this book. I was just talking to a guy, Josh, if you're watching. He's got to go in next month to turn himself in. He's got a wife and kids. They're going to come here in the office Tuesday. Remember that, Josh? He said he'd come in the office. So we're going to help out his wife and kids while he's in there. And when he gets out, we got help for him too. So if you have loved ones at home or in prison, you know what I'm talking about. But call us. All the phone numbers on the screen right here underneath, scrolling across. Give us a call. We have services. We have help for you. We have all kinds of ways to help you do this. You're not alone in this world. You don't have to go through this alone anymore. All these people care in this room. There's more people here. And if you watch us every week, by the end of the year, you'll probably meet 500 people who care and know what you're going through. There's that many people out there on your side.
Oh, many, many more than 500. Believe me, we have thousands of volunteers every year, Sean, to help us. And I will say with my book, I know Sean has set up some special ways of making a donation. The book normally sells for $20. We'll do it for $10, and that'll include shipping and handling. So
and a signed autograph.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's really important. Everybody needs that. But hopefully, maybe it would help you, because I wrote this book because there was no book out to help the families. And so whether you're dealing with this or your family is, it's a difficult situation. And so if you do decide to just make a donation today online, put in, you've got a chat. here that they can communicate or they can tell us, we will get your address and we could mail this book out right away to you. And hopefully maybe it would be of help. And it is a half price. And then of course that includes shipping too. So we're trying to do it as reasonably as we can to try to help people. So thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks, Ann. So now I want to introduce two guests. One's been sitting here next to me. This is Mary Briggs. She was the former director of Thresholds. I have the current director of Thresholds, Herman Delgado, and they're here to tell you all about Thresholds. So first of all, Mary, you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Mary, and I'm involved with Thresholds, but through Thresholds, I became a member of Wings, and so I had a mentee that belonged to Wings, and she asked me to a Monday night dinner, and I've been coming ever since. And since the pandemic, I've been coming into the workplace every day volunteering. So don't say I don't care. We don't care. Yeah.
Just because somebody hasn't been to prison doesn't mean they don't care about you. Know that, guys. Okay, you don't have to have been there to still care. I'm here every week to tell you that. This is Herman Delgado from Thresholds.
How you doing, folks? I've been working with Threshold, which is a program for men and women coming out of prison. I met Mary there, I don't know, a decade ago. And right now, we, although we're not able to go into the prisons, we continue to collaborate with both federal and state prisons, as well as some of the jails. And I'll be talking about how we interface with them in a moment. Back to
Good. I wanted to get with you on jail. So I got a few questions, but I'm hoping somebody out there in the audience, well, somebody's here. TJ is in the room, and I know TJ, and TJ is waiting to get sentenced. And it's one of these days he's going to have to do some time. So, but TJ, you hang in there, you know. You got any questions for us, TJ? Let us know. Anybody out there, we will answer every question, every comment. So I wanted to know maybe what Thresholds is. I know you kind of said it, but in a nutshell, if you run it into somebody on the street and you tell them you work for Thresholds, they'll go, well, what is that?
Sure. So Thresholds has been around for about 25 years. It started as a collaborative effort between the Archdiocese of Santa Fe and the State Department of Corrections here in New Mexico. And at that time, there weren't many programs like Wings or many other programs that provided services to individuals that were in prison or jail or being released, coming out of the system. And forget about services to families. It didn't exist. Over the last 25, 30 years, things have improved significantly. What we do at Thresholds today is we go into the prisons. There are 11 prisons in New Mexico, and I don't know how many jails, 26 or more jails. And we focus on the state facilities. That's what we were doing before. So we go into 5 of the prisons, even though we can visit all of the 11 prisons. And we'll begin to establish a relationship with men and women that are going to be released. The idea of the program is to help those individuals that are being released readjust to the community. Come back to their family systems, come back to their churches, come back to school, come back to work, those kinds of activities. When we initially started, we actually would help people get their IDs because you'd come out of prison, you would come out with nothing, no ID, no paperwork half the time, nothing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Today, at least in the programs here in New Mexico, people are being released. They usually come out with an ID. They can come out with a health insurance, Medicaid, Medicare. They can come out, they can apply for their driver's licenses now while they're in prison, pre-release. So it's changed significantly. but we will work with anyone coming out. What we usually do is we go visit the prisons, we present the program, and we'll start working with people while they're incarcerated.
See, that's great. 'Cause that's when you got to start planning.
Yep.
Having been in prison myself, you plan. You that day that you're getting out, it's in your head every single day. And if you could start planning for your release, and if you know that somebody's out there to check in with, who can help you find a job and a car and a place to live in. Me, I had nowhere to go when I got out of prison. Thank God I had a halfway house. But
So we start working with the individual prior to release. Now today, we also work with people post-release. So you could be in the community. You could have been released from prison and are living in the community. You may be in a treatment program, or you may be, lost again, and you want to start getting involved in some kind of treatment, some kind of rehabilitation work for yourself. We will work with you. And the way we do that is we assign a team of 3 people. We call them mentors. And these mentors will work with you for about a year. It could be a year and a half. It can be 2 years. It could be 6 months. But we traditionally would work with someone up to a year. And the way we work with you is we meet with you on a weekly basis, and we guide you, we mentor you, we talk to you, we listen to you, we support you, we'll encourage you to do that which is positive. We'll go with you to AA meetings, we'll go with you to court, we'll go with you to church, we'll walk alongside you, we'll accompany you on your rehabilitation journey.
those are things most people's family won't even do for them when they get out. I mean, they'll be to pick you up and maybe give you a place to sleep, but they don't want to talk to you and listen. And really, I mean, I'm just speaking from the shirt.
Well, when we're out there doing our criminality stuff, we burn a lot of bridges.
Yeah, we do.
And it's hard for families to trust you. I mean, I know
That's it. That's it.
Yep. I know people today that still don't trust me. And I've been in recovery almost 40 years.
And he's never been to prison.
And I go to visit, but I've never stayed overnight. Okay. But it's not an easy walk to come out, especially if you've been locked up for many, many years, or you've been in and out, in and out, in and out. You burn a lot of bridges. And the idea of the program is to help you reconnect with people whose bridges you've burnt, reconnect with family members, with children, with your parents, with your extended family. And even in fact, most of the time we create new families, right? We create new friends and new families, and that's partly what we do. The mentors are trained. We meet on a monthly basis. Mary was a previous director, and then she became ill, and she had to leave, but she's always stayed connected to the program, so she still mentors women. The way we work it is women work with women, and men work with men. Sometimes married couples will get involved, and they'll work with a man or a woman, depending on the situation, but we've had that kind of case mentorship as well.
So, Mary, do you remember? Can you just offhand how many people you personally met out of prison and helped?
Probably about 6.
So, anybody jump out at you that you're still in touch with?
Well, the reason I found Wings was one of the people coming out of prison was working here at Wings, and she invited me to a Monday night dinner that we were having in person, and I've been covering ever since. And Gail, not only did she get mentored, I myself didn't mentor her, but I sent her to Karen and Rosa, and they mentored her. They're very good mentors, and so Gail has become one of the mentors.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have returning citizens that have gone through the program, through the Thresholds program, and have decided to become mentors themselves. In fact, we had 5 of our 25 mentors. That's how many mentors we have today. 5 of them went through the program, have been in prison, and are now working with individuals coming out of prison. Today, we only have 2 what we call mentees. So instead of calling people, former inmate or whatever, we call folks mentees, and we work with the mentees, as I indicated, in whatever area they need help in. Today, there are many, many programs in Albuquerque, at least, that work with returning citizens. Obviously, Wings is one of them, and Wings has been also working with the family, so that's really important. Again, we didn't have that before, but we have the mentors that were mentees. So that's really important because they've lived the experience of being in prison. They know what it's like. And so that gives you a little bit, I think, more empathy that you can use as you're working with the individual. We also work with the individual families. So we'll work with moms and dads and siblings so that they begin to trust the person that's, coming back home. And that's really one of the main difficulties that we get reported in relation to what mentees tell us is that trust issue, that families have tremendous difficulty trusting them because of their past history.
It could take years to get that trust
Absolutely.
back, if you even get it back.
If you even get it back. And the idea is to move on anyway. You got to move on. You can't get stuck because your mom doesn't trust you or your wife, doesn't trust you. You need to move on and do what you got to do to help yourself. And at the same time, you're helping your family, you're helping your kids, you're helping those that don't trust you anymore. They'll eventually see it. But it takes time and a lot of patience.
So Herman, you told me once you've even went and met somebody at the gate when they're getting released. You went out of your way.
Very good. Yes.
Do you remember who that gentleman was?
Sure. In fact, he's now one of our mentors.
There you go.
In that particular situation, I had met the gentleman while he was in jail here at Metropolitan Detention Center. And I was doing ministry, Bible study on Sundays. I met him. His offense was very, very, very serious. He was sentenced to 6 years, and he was moved from MDC to another prison he moved around to several prisons. He ended up here at the Los Lunas facility, and I met him there again, and we started talking about thresholds, and he was doing, he was going to the chapel on a weekly basis. He got involved in GED program. He got involved in the drug treatment program while he was incarcerated. And that's what you got to
do.
Yeah.
If you're going to make it when you get out, it starts while you're inside.
While you're inside.
Or even before.
Yeah.
In the federal courts, we're on pre-trial. I had 4 years to prepare for prison. Yeah. So you even need to start changing then. But if you wait till the day you get out, it's going to be harder for you.
So I'll use this name, Mike. So I went and we started visiting Mike on a regular basis. He had 6 years to do. About a year before he was released, we had his mentor team set up, and they started visiting him at the facility.
So you guys gave him hope all the way through his term.
We were supporting him through his.
But he had to work for it.
Yeah. He really did, and that's what we look for. We're looking for people that are really serious about making a change in their lives. If you want to come out and keep dealing and keep running with your homeboys and your homegirls, and this is not a program for you. So I'm going to be straight up with you.
PO needs me to get a job. Herman, man, I don't care. Just give me something to get the PO off my back.
Well,
can I call you?
Yeah, you can call me, and I'm going to tell you need to change your attitude. If you want to get involved in the Thresholds program.
Married old ladies on me, and I need some money for some food, some clothes. I got to give me. Can you help me out?
No.
Come on, I'm going to send me back. I got to do something.
Get a job.
What
I'm doing, guys.
What you'll really do is say, I can send you to places that'll help you get some clothes, will help you get some food, maybe a place where you can sleep. And when you're really ready to come back and take care of business, you can give me a call, you can come and visit me, and then we'll reevaluate you. Now, that's the other thing that we do is while you're in prison, you're going to be interviewed. You got to complete an application. You got to submit it. You got to show us that you're taking care of business while you're in prison.
Right.
And then we'll start working with you, pre-release.
Yeah, so you got to earn that privilege.
Well, I don't know if it's in earning it. You got to show that you're ready to change, that you've made a commitment to yourself to change. We are a spiritual program, so we do pray with our mentees together. When we start our meetings, we pray. When we finish our meetings, we say a little prayer. We go to church with people, etc. But anyway, going back to this brother Mike, he was released. It's interesting. What happened with him is he was supposed to be released on one particular day, and they did a urine pre-release, and they found opiates in his urine. Now, he did not know how they found opiates. He came out positive for opiates. Well, we ended up finding out how that occurred, okay? And he was released a month after that. So they didn't keep him in. They found out what happened.
Poppy seed bowls or something?
Who knows what occurred within the prison system, but there is unscrupulous activity in the prisons, as you guys probably know. He got released and we didn't even know when he was going to get released, okay? And they let him go at like 4 o'clock in the morning with 2 black plastic bags, okay? They put him on a bus, and he ended up over here at the bus depot.
Wow.
He gave me a call, and I was part of his mentor team. I went over right away. We picked him up. The first thing you do when you get out of prison, the first person you visit is your parole or probation officer. Yeah. So we took him to his PO. He had already been set up for housing. If you don't have a place to live, they're not going to release you. So we took him after the PO to his new residence, which was a halfway house.
Yeah, I know you work with Oxford houses.
Oxford and a whole bunch of other facilities, here in the metropolitan area. But anyway, that's Mike, and Mike, he's a vet, so he ended up in the VA system. He did suffer some setbacks. He became very depressed at one time and ended up in a mental health unit at the VA. But the thing about him is that he always struggled to get better. He stayed on track, even though there were obstacles. He stayed on track.
He never gave up.
And today he never gave up. He never, he's very prayerful, very spiritual man. Reconnected with family. It was difficult for him to do that because most of the people in his family get high, and you get released. You're not supposed to be around people that get high. So the deal. The struggle that we have. We're trying to connect with family and friends. But that's Mike's story. He did really well, and he's now one of our mentors. We also will go out if we know your date of release. We'll go pick you up. We'll wait for you at the facility. In fact, most facilities want to know who's going to pick you up, so that you give information and so forth and so on. Now we protect our mentors. Besides getting the training, we don't give out personal information or anything like that. So you folks got to know that you're just going to work with us. Our names, our phones. And that's about it. You might get a little information, like you probably end up knowing that Mary also works for Wings. She's all over Wings. And you get to know some personal information about your mentors, but for your protection and theirs, we're careful. But we've had women get their kids back. Women go back to school and get their master's degrees. Women come out and become their accountants, and men that are working in the auto industry. We have one brother that does those turbines. He, for the energy and stuff. We have the windmills. Yeah. He goes up there and he fixes those turbines. We have tremendous success stories, but we also have some sad stories. I mean,
So we got about 10 people watching. Does anybody have some questions for Herman or Mary about thresholds? Anybody in prison that you need some help with? I didn't mean to interrupt you, but trying to get some questions.
sure. Yeah, we're here.
Mary, if somebody has a family member in prison or a loved one or their girlfriend's in prison or their boyfriend's in prison, can they send some information about thresholds to that prison and then that
Sure.
inmate
Well,
can contact
when
you
we were-
by a letter or a
Yeah.
phone call? Or
Yeah, when we were able to go into the prisons, I would bring material in, we give it to the chaplains, and so there was a lot of information. I would talk about thresholds, and was talking to them about what she did while the inmates were working with their families, with arts and crafts, and so, yeah, that was out there.
so on my other channel, I'm not here to promote that, but guys are in the federal system, and I get calls from a lot of them are from Albuquerque lately since I moved here. So can I send those guys some email? They have email systems in the feds. Can they email you from the prison? Can I
Absolutely.
hook those guys up with, and you can help them out? Or
I'm glad you asked that. We have a relationship with all of the chaplains throughout New Mexico. So all you have to do is go to your chaplain, and they will have the application, like Mary indicated. The applications are usually with the chaplain. So you ask them for the chaplain. We also have our little brochures, and I don't know if the lighting is good for that, but the chaplains have our brochures.
the links are underneath this page. Yeah, you hold that up if you want.
Sure. And I'm going to cover us all up. I'm sorry, Sean. I don't know if you guys can
Maybe
see that.
the camera.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. But all of the chaplains will have this type of a poster either in their offices or in the educational programs that you have in the various prisons. Now, that's at the state level. At the federal level, we're in dialogue now with folks from the federal system to be able to get in.
A lot of them are coming back out. They're doing time in Colorado or Arizona, but they're coming back here.
We've also done a lot of pre-COVID, before COVID, we did training with the POs. So we would go in once a year and meet with all the parole officers and probation officers, so they knew about the program. So this is not something that the POs don't know about. They do know about it. But that's when you get out. On the inside, the main contact person is the chaplain. And again, with the federal system, we're working to develop that. However, you can go to our website, and Sean has put that.
I put the link underneath on the description of this video, or you can always call the phone number of the wings, and we'll give you that.
So you can download the application, complete it, and mail it to us, or email it, or fax it, whatever you're able to do.
So they have to fill an application out, even if they're in the prison.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're in prison or not. Okay. Even post-release, folks, you still got to do an application. We will interview you, and you're assigned a team almost immediately. There's a team lead. Out of the 3 people, 1 person will take the team lead, and they'll be kind of like the main contact person for you. Excuse me, but you can contact us in a variety of different ways. The email, the website. We do have the website that's available that explains the program, gives you a little history.
Do you accept phone calls from prisons?
Absolutely.
Okay. Not collect.
Not collect. You gotta have prepaid or whatever, and you give us a call, and we'll call you back. Make sure you put us on your list, so that when we call, they know who we are, and they don't break our chops.
Right.
So check out our website. It gives all kinds of information. We have there a tab for links, and that gives you all kinds of links of agencies and programs and information that you can obtain about treatment and recovery and addictions and family issues and what drugs do to you and all kinds of issues. So check out our website. There are also list of resources that are available here in Albuquerque and really statewide, although we focus in on Albuquerque, Bernalillo County, the Santa Fe areas. We'll go south to Los Lunas and the surrounding areas of the Albuquerque metropolitan area. We'll still work with you if you call us and let's say you're in Roswell. We'll try to get you the information that you need down there in Roswell or wherever it is. You're up in Raton. We'll try to get you information up there. So we'll provide resources. So I think that's what Mary was leaning towards. We'll give you the resources that you might require that will assist you with whatever your situation is.
I just think that's a great service. I mean, having been to prison myself, I wish I would have known about you. I didn't know, and I knew lots of guys, no plans when they got out. I guess I'll get a job at McDonald's. I'll do whatever, but really nowhere to go, no plans, and nobody waiting for them on the outside that understands what they went through. And that's what both you guys do. You're not that you're waiting for them, but when you get out, there's help. There's people who care, and like you said, they've got to want it and show that they want it.
Yeah.
So you can't just lay on your bed all day watching TV and wait for your release date. And Herman's going to take care of me. So it's not like that.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Yeah.
You get what you put in, right?
Yeah. So I've been working with the Los Lunas prison in the mental health unit for over 20 years, minus COVID. The reason I got in there was because they had people with mental retardation. So that's what got me started. And meeting Theo here and getting through Wings, then it's been quite a ride, and I love what I do, and I do what I love.
I love that.
Yeah, today there's a lot of collaboration between programs. So even though I'm part of Thresholds, I also collaborate with Wings. So we'll support one another. I participate in some of your activities. Two of our mentors are members of Wings. Mary is one, and Tom is another. And hopefully, Sean, you'll join us as a mentor one day. You'll think about that and come on board. So there's a lot of interagency collaboration. The Department of Labor is now involved in creating programs for returning citizens, and that's the term we use for people coming out of prison. They're individual programs like Best Chance, all kinds of programs in the Albuquerque metropolitan area that will work with returning citizens and their families. And I think that's really important that as agencies, we're not working with just individuals. We're working with family systems as well. We are non-denominational, even though we are sponsored by the Archdiocese of Santa Fe. We accept anyone from any denomination. In fact, if you don't have a denomination, even people that don't go to church and are not connected spiritually, we will work with you. That does not matter. So we will work with anyone. We work with all cultures. It doesn't matter if you're Black, white, Native, Asian. That does not matter. Male, female, gay, straight. It does not matter. We will work with you and help yourself, really. And again, we have many success stories, but a lot of failures. We had one brother.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the failures. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, not everybody's gets out of prison is a success story. So I'm sure you have some failures.
Well, the worst one that I'm aware of, Mary, you might know others, is a brother that we worked with. He was doing great. He got out. He went back to school. He was in college. He was at CNN, our community college here downtown. And he was really doing great. He was out for about 7 months.
7 months.
And then he met one of his old homeboys. And he started, dibbling and dabbling, and next thing you know, he got arrested for shoplifting. And they let him go. His PO let him slide because he knew he was involved.
Do you remember what was it? A candy bar? Was it
No, it was
bigger?
computer.
Oh, he went straight for
he wasn't fooling around. My man was, he was going to make some money. To make a long story short, he disappeared, and we found him. He had passed away. We found him in an abandoned building, half eaten up. So that's unfortunate, and there was a needle stuck in his body. That's one of the worst cases and sad situations that we have had, that I've been involved with. There are others where people relapse, and they go back to prison, or they stay and they work with us for a few months, and then they feel really good and they leave, and then they realize they make a mistake when they go back out, drinking or drugging, or when they get back into criminal activity. And same thing with the women. We had one particular story is a young lady that came out. She was just doing so fantastic. She got an apartment. She got a job. She, was reconnected to her kids and her family, and then something happened. We don't really know what happened. And then she went out again, and she went out big time, man. And then she was out in the streets again, doing what she had to do to get money and shooting dope. And, she's back in the system. She's up in Springer doing another 10 years. And
revolving door, man.
That's really sad. But we got a lot of great stories, like I mentioned.
I finally got a question here.
All right.
Don Johnston, he says, do you accept all people with different crimes? Is there some people you do not work with?
That's an excellent question. We do not work with people that have a chronic violent history. So if you have been incarcerated multiple times for seriously violent activity, you probably not get accepted into the program. So that's one particular group. The other group are sex offenders. That particular group of individuals we have tremendous difficulty with for a variety of different reasons. One being is that there are very few services out here in the community that helps those particular individuals. But I think what's happening is that in the mental health and recovery community, they're opening up their doors now to folks that suffer from, those types of situations. And they're trying to work with them a little more. But we don't have the capability of working with sexual offenders. Those are the only two groups, categories that we cannot work with. But we will work with you regardless of what your crime. If you've been incarcerated for, let's say, a murder, but it's sort of one-time situation, we will accept you. Now there are exceptions to the sex abuse situation. The reason we interview people is because you might be charged with a crime like sexual deviancy, and when we go and we interview you, that's the charge that you pleaded to, right? But maybe that did not occur. But that's what you were charged with, and that's what you're doing time for. So that's part of the interviewing process. I know Mary worked with a case like that of a young lady that was charged with a sexual crime. And this was a first-time situation, and it was with a family member, and it was a very, very unique case. She did 12 years of time. And when she came out, we worked with her. She is doing fantastic. So even though you might have that kind of a history, that's the reason we interview, as I mentioned.
Well, the thing of it is the statistic is only about 4% of people who are committed for sexual crimes return to prison. And I don't know if that's because of the way that they were treated in prison, or if it was just something that happened, somebody that was young that wanted to run away, and the parents were, wanting the guy to do time because their daughter was underage. In the past, that wouldn't have mattered, but now that they have regulations, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. That's a really important question that we clarify, folks that we would not work with. And then the other categories I mentioned, you really want to, make sure that you want this, that you want recovery, that you want to change your life. If you're not there, and you try to play us, we interview you and you tell us this, that, and the other, we're going to know.
And these guys are street smart too. So,
as I indicated, we have 5 mentors that have been through the program. Half the mentors that exist are in recovery. So, the mentors are pretty savvy to what the situation is, and we ask that you be honest. And if you're ambivalent, we'll work with you. Ambivalence means that you're not sure if you want to get, yourself together or not. Yes, no, or maybe so. We'll work with you because at least you have that. You show ambivalence. That's a positive thing. But if you know that you're going to come out and you're going to keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep dealing drugs and making money, you come out, in a day I'll make $1,000 versus making, $150, driving a cab, or $80 at McDonald's, So, be straight with us, be straight with yourself. And, if you need to do more time, do it. That's unfortunate, but you choose this today. Today you choose. You make the decision to either get yourself together or not. That's up to you. We can't blame, society anymore. We can't blame our mama, our papa, our wife. We encourage you to take responsibility for yourself. And that's the first step in recovery, right? You let it go and you accept your limitations and you make a decision to change your life and improve those situations. It's not easy to do that. It's easy for me to sit and talk. I've never done any time, but I know what it is to do time. I visited so many jails and so many prisons and spent so much time in them that I might have done a couple of years straight up. It's not easy. It's not easy.
can we take a minute? Our director, program director, Ken Jackson. Ken, you ready out there? He wants to take a few minutes. We had a returning citizen to make him a cup, and here's Ken. He's going to tell you all about it.
Oh, so I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You bet.
I just want to share with everyone, this cup was made by a returning citizen named Carl, and I'm sharing this because I want everyone to know that if you have an idea, if you have a skill set, a talent that you want to actually share with the world, which we're hoping you do, we want you to know that we're here to support you any way we possibly can. So before we get Wings Works going, before the building is done, we want you to know that we're here to support you. And if you have those ideas, having a business background, one of my goals is to help as many people as possible. So if you have ideas, thoughts, whatever they may be, you can message Sean, or any way you can get in contact with us. Let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do to start now, so then we can start planning. So when Wings Works does take off, we can actually have you up and ready to go. So I was really excited to get my cup. This is actually my logo, and then underneath it, it says Luke 22:32. That is what my brand is actually built on. Simply put, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. And the KJ effect is really about that. Everything that I've been through, good, bad, and the ugly, some things I caused, some things others have caused, but ultimately it's not a matter of failure, it's a matter of learning. So everything that I learn, I try to ensure that I pass it on. So strengthening my brothers, other people, is really what I'm about, and that's what we're about here at Wings. So please know and understand that if you have those ideas, never discount small beginnings. Please never ever do that. Everything starts small. Everything starts with an idea. And I truly believe you have those ideas. So if you're ready to share them, we're here to listen. Cool?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right,
Appreciate you.
You bet, you bet, you bet. So I got a question here, Herman. It says, I guess it's for you because it says, from Katrina. Hi, Katrina. What about in Michigan, sir?
In the state of Michigan, is
I
that
would
what you're
imagine.
referring to,
I would
Katrina?
imagine that's a
Now,
state. Yeah.
what I recommend that you do, Katrina, is contact. I don't know what city you're in, but I'm sure that whatever city you're in will have a department of corrections or a department of rehabilitation. I would encourage you to connect with them. I'd also encourage you to connect with the chaplain if you're in a facility. Connect with your chaplain. In many facilities, there are volunteer programs that exist, like AA, NA. There are church groups that come in and work with families like Wings. Wings will go all over the place. I mean, they're focused here in New Mexico, but they've been all over the world, and
Yeah.
they've taught other facilities and programs how to work in the same capacity with their families, etc. So that's something that you can certainly do. I would even venture to say to call Ann, the director here, and speak to her, and she might have a contact in Michigan. Unfortunately, we don't. But Katrina, don't give up and just start searching for programs and state departments that work with returning citizens. This is a national movement. So it's a really good time for those of you that are in various facilities to reach out to community leaders, to folks involved in different self-help groups, and I'm sure you'll be able to get some assistance. That don't give up. Just keep on trying, keep on looking for help. That's one of the things that we learned is that our brother just shared his strengths, and we will encourage you to use your strengths, whatever strength it is, no matter how minute you might think it is. Use those strengths in your recovery experience. There are many people in the community that will work with you, that are open to assist your families if your family needs assistance. So the point is knocking on the door, knock and the door shall be open, seek and ye shall find. So we need to make sure that we encourage you to do that as well as your families and each other. If you're a brother and you've been successful like our brother just talked about, then you need to pass that on and encourage others to do well. So use your strengths, no matter how minute you might think, that strength is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mary, any takes on the Michigan and other states?
The only thing I know that I think Ann is from Ohio, and I know that they have the prisons out there that have wings in their prisons and wings groups. So, and that's right near your home state. So maybe give them a call too, and since they're nearby.
Yeah, maybe you can get her name and number. We can get your information, and then Ann can call you back. I don't know if you can do that, Sean.
Yeah.
If she can give you her information, and then maybe Ann can get back to her and find out if Michigan has any wings activities. And
Katrina's actually been on my channel. I talked to her on the phone.
Oh, very good.
I have her number.
Excellent.
Her son is in federal prison.
Got it.
He's getting out within the year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she's already looking out for her son when he gets out and help him, so that's why she asked about Michigan.
All right.
But I'm familiar with Katrina.
All right. Most programs that work in prison systems have a religious base. So it could be the Muslim community, the Jewish community, the Catholic community, other Christian groups, Protestant, Baptist, so that they're involved in the prison systems all over, whatever state it is, it doesn't matter. It's the chaplains and those groups that are ones that are providing services in the prison systems.
Okay. Well, guys, it's been about an hour, but I want to maybe wrap it up with some last words, advice, encouragement, anything last statement you want to make to people about wings or thresholds or.
Now, you want to go first?
Yeah. Everybody's accepted. Everybody is treated as a child of God, and everybody participates, and everybody is welcome. And if you're in prison, plan for that day that you're getting out. Yeah, do the work.
You know, life is difficult. You just got to keep on trucking. No matter what gets in your way, we're spiritual, so we connect to our higher power. We connect to God. We pray. I encourage you to pray and stay connected to your higher power and do everything you can to be successful. There are going to be many obstacles that get in your way, and you just have to perceive them as being small hurdles, and you're going to just run right over them, and you're going to keep going. And there'll be many, many hurdles in our lives, in your life, but you can become successful. There's no question about it. We have seen many men and women that have done just terrible things in their lives, turn themselves around and re-engage with their families, with their loved ones, with their brothers and sisters, have become productive members of society. It's not easy. All of us, I don't care who it is, will have obstacles, in their way, and we just need to continue struggling to do the best we can and help those that we can as we move forward in our lives. So
We have a final comment here from Thinking Thanks. God, centering in mind, peace, true with all love, and thank you, friend, God. All in caps.
beautiful.
All right, guys. I'm going to end this. I want to thank you guys for coming by the office. You for coming by the office. You're here today. So thank you for coming in today, too. And I have a little 45-second clip of what happened Monday night when we do our Zoom meeting that also comes on Facebook, and that it's just 45 seconds. I'll close with that. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you didn't leave a question, please leave a comment or a question on the replay, because you can find this on Facebook and YouTube. In about 2 minutes after we close up here, it'll already be, the reruns will be playing. So please leave comments, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, the like button, and even share that video with somebody else. Help Wings for Life get subscribers. It's absolutely free. You just click the button and you've done your good deed for the day. So thank you guys. I'll leave you with this video, and we'll be back next Friday at 3 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. And here's the video.
Organization now called No Halo LLC. He's a certified peer support worker, and he is awesome. And I am so thankful he's with us tonight. So welcome, Nico, and tell us all about ways to get sober.
Oh, and thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and allowing me to speak. The third developmental asset I believe that you need to have, or it's a choice, is planning and decision making. I believe anybody should know before they get sober. So you're going to get to know yourself. You see, while we live in a place that just shouldn't have a kindness, nobody applauds a fish for swimming.
And that's it. Good night, everybody.